I think that's a great point that you make there, AC. And Juicy, you and I are on the cast for this one. Is this where he does it? Should it be game number 1 here, where he does not rock Lava Hound to be unpredictable?
Oh, wow. Yeah. I was laughing because I saw that zap. I was like, it's going to be Lava Hound again. Then he dropped a Giant Skeleton, and I guess not. A Giant Skeleton with Evo Zap, maybe a Graveyard. So not Giant Graveyard, but Giant Skeleton, Graveyard, Evo Zap with the arrows.
Arrows come down to clean up the goblins, knowing that the bomb will clean up the wizard. So an earthquake has to come out here for Faust. And I don't know, Juice, Hog, EQ in the Dagger Duchess meta with a Void being available. What are your thoughts on this deck pick, man?
We were thinking the exact same thing. I'm not loving the deck pick here from Faust. Maybe if he has an Evo Knight, he has chances. Earthquake and Goblins, 2 solid counters to the graveyard. And I like this decision to also switch lanes. You got to switch lanes here and play Ops lane versus a graveyard deck, so Dominik can defend and then counter push.
Giant Skeleton, Skeleton King graveyard. So the spam is going to be plentiful here for Dominik, and I do really like that he swapped things up and went something completely different in game number 1 here. Will it work out? I guess that's what we'll have to wait and see. But at least in terms of graveyard responses, that wizard is always going to be a good response. Arrows is always going to help well against those goblins. So wizard plus earthquake, log plus earthquake, or goblins plus one of the above or the aforementioned could always be enough for Faust. We'll see if he's able to defend, but really more than anything, can he get that Hog Rider on tower? That's the biggest question.
Monk in the back once again. He needs a good Monk ability with the Hog Rider to make that happen. Here comes the wizard as well from both players. Dominik gonna have the Evo Zap and cycle for this defense as well, though. So maybe that can help him a bit, but I don't think so. I think this Hog's made this out. No, he's got a Fisherman.
Wow. Wow. Of all the days, of all the cards, of all the decks to have a Fisherman, got to be really, really happy to have one here, because looking at that last push, I think we were both thinking the same thing of, okay, I'm not sure how Dom is going to defend this very well. The Monk was in the right spot. He tried to drop a Phoenix on top of the Hog, but the Phoenix was kind of farther away than he would have liked, but the Fish Boy comes out late. So here we go. Phoenix tanking for the Skeletons. Arrows come in to clean up the Goblins. Phoenix gonna get on top of the tower. That Wizard just a little bit slow on the trigger. 1470, 1936, and I feel like as this game goes into overtime, I feel like the favor has got to fall towards Dominik with just such a heavier deck going up against Hog.
And the Monk ability is misplayed yet again. Monk's so strong in the meta, but it seems like a lot of these players are finding a difficult job of actually dealing with that Monk. Here comes the Skeleton King at the bridge. Fisherman locked onto the Hog, Knight the Ice Spear, and here comes another graveyard push. They has to defend. Dagger Duchess out of daggers here.
Yeah, the Wizard getting across the bridge, getting tanked for by those Skeletons, pulls out that Evo Tesla up high. Maybe not the best way that Faust would have liked to use that Tesla, but still gets the job done.
Monk off lane, Goblins not popping the ability right away because he knows the block is going to happen. Now the ability, here comes the Hog. Hog kind of body blocked by the Giant Skelly though, and yet again, Hog not going to make it to the tower.
Yeah, it looked like the Fisherman might try to pull the Monk there for half a second, but still goes to the Hog Rider. And yeah, the abilities from Faust with the Monk have not been ideal. They haven't been terrible, but they haven't been perfect either. And here we go, Skeleton King ability coming in. Skelly's in the back, Skelly's up high. Wizard plus Log plus Monk gonna be more than enough. And now we'll see if we get the dual lane pressure, and we do.
Okay, Wizard gonna drop down. Earthquake for damage. Hog does not get a hit yet again. Monk ability gonna drop once again, but it's a little bit late again. Arrows dropping down. I mean, it just seems like Graveyard is a more consistent win condition here.
Yeah, I think honestly that's just the best way to put it, is that we're going against two guys that are playing this pretty well, but when you talk about what's getting damage on tower more efficiently, more effectively, and more consistently, it does seem like that GY is the way to go. And this body block at the bridge, it's really interesting because you have two units that are so dense and so big that they're actually able to kind of combat that Monk pushback, right? The Monk pushes back the Giant Skeleton, but then you throw the Skeleton King in front of it. And I mean, this is a really, really close game, Juicy. I think you hit the nail on the head when you said GY is just the more consistent win condition. That's only 70 HP difference.
About the reason why Earthquake is bad is there's really not that many buildings in the meta. There's a lot of fishermen though, and Earthquake doesn't work versus a fisherman. So Faust really not getting a lot of Earthquake value at all. We are into game 2. We have an Evo Zap and an Evo Bomber from Faust and a Giant Skeleton. Maybe go into some Royal Giant, that's his comfort, or maybe a Graveyard deck. I mean, really, this could be anything here.
Yeah, you know, and it's so weird because Dominik ran Graveyard last game, so this looks like he's going to go to the skies. I mean, you see Night and Inferno and Snowball, and you think, okay, well, this is either going to be Graveyard or it's going to be Lava, and it looks like Dominik's still going to go to the skies here. I think that's what you have to do, right? I mean, I was thinking maybe he tries extra hard and goes for the double swerve of countering something that counters Lava. But also for Faust, you wonder if Faust is like, all right, I'm gonna defend against Lava, but I'm not gonna sell out hard on Lava Hound. And you can see with, you know, the Night Witch and the Giant Skeleton, he at least has the bases covered a little bit. Wonder what else he has though for air defense.
Yeah, Night Witch obviously not going to be able to do enough on its own. Inferno Dragon at the bridge. He does not have enough for Void though. He drops it when he has enough, but the Inferno Dragon's already got the job done versus the Giant Skeleton. Oh, look, maybe I was wrong. Maybe Night Witch is enough on its own. Look at all these bats.
Yeah, bats stacking up there. Lava Hound made pretty quick work. Little Prince comes out late. Snowball to push it back though. Should allow one of these Skeleton Dragons to get on tower. No, both still get on tower.
Yeah. And this is why Dominik has like a, I don't know, I think you guys said like 77% win rate with Skeleton Dragons. I mean, yes, he's using Lava a lot with those dragons, but he's just very good with them. He knows how the interactions work. And Faust with actually the Goblin Giant. I like the lane switch here, though, a lot. You really don't want to go same lane as a Lava Inferno Dragon here.
Inferno Dragon comes down here with an Evo Knight up front. Now that Inferno Dragon should have a harder time getting on top of this Goblin Giant. Bats plus the Evo Zap going to play some good distraction, and then the Skeleton Dragons will not be taken out by the Void because close enough to the tower there, but still great damage in here from Faust, evening things up. 1749, 1711. Dominik right back on the offensive as he's going to let this push on the left-hand side die on the bind.
Prediction, Goblin Giant for Void, but Dominik predicts the prediction, waits to Void after that, and now there's a balloon going to this tower and is almost impossible to stop. On the other side of things, Faust actually hits the tower with his Void, so the Inferno Dragon gets a lot of damage done. King Tower activated. There is a Night Witch on the board, but he has enough elixir for the Snowball. Defensive Void, is it enough? Yes, it is. Dominik with a 2-0 sweep versus Faust.
Wow.